told you that one day, a black hole could casually drift into our solar system? I know, it sounds straight out of a science fiction movie, but it's not as impossible as you might think. Imagine you're going about your day, and suddenly, your newsfeed blows up with headlines like, "Astronomers discover a black hole approaching Neptune." Panic sets in. But what would actually happen if a black hole entered our solar system? Let's dive deep into this mind-bending scenario and see how it could quite literally tear everything we know apart. First, let's get the basics down. A black hole is formed when a massive star collapses under its own gravity, creating a region in space with such an intense gravitational pull that nothing, not even light, can escape. It's like the universe's ultimate trapdoor. These things come in different sizes, from stellar black holes formed by dying stars to supermassive black holes lurking at the center of galaxies. For our scenario, let's stick with something in between. A black hole about the size of our sun, but with its entire mass compressed into an insanely small space, just a few kilometers wide. Now, how would we know a black hole is headed our way? Well, here's the fun part. Black holes are invisible. You can't see them unless they're actively gobbling up matter, creating that famous glowing disk of gas and debris called an accretion disk. So, by the time we'd notice something was wrong, the black hole might already be close, tugging at the outer edges of our solar system. Neptune would probably be the first to feel its presence. Right now, Neptune's orbit is pretty stable, circling the sun in a nice, predictable path. But as the black hole draws closer, Neptune would start to wobble. Its orbit would get pulled and stretched, and over time, it could be knocked right out of its current path. If the black hole gets even closer, Neptune might spiral inward toward the sun or outward into the abyss of space. The same thing would start happening to Uranus, Saturn, and Jupiter. These massive gas giants might end up colliding with each other, or worse, being pulled into the black hole itself. Their moons, which are numerous and some as big as planets, would also face the same fate. As the black hole works its way toward the inner solar system, the real chaos begins. Earth's orbit would start to get messed up big time. Right now, we're perfectly positioned in the Goldilocks zone, where conditions are just right for life to thrive. Not too hot, not too cold. But if the black hole starts tugging on us, we could be pushed closer to the sun, where temperatures would soar to unbearable levels. Oceans would boil away, and life as we know it would be over. Alternatively, we could be pulled farther from the sun, turning our planet into a frozen wasteland where survival would be nearly impossible. And that's just the beginning. The black hole's gravity would affect Earth in more ways than just messing with our orbit. The gravitational pull near a black hole is so intense that it stretches and distorts anything that gets too close, a process known as spaghettification. And yes, it's just as horrifying as it sounds. Imagine Earth getting stretched out like a piece of spaghetti, slowly torn apart as the black hole's gravity pulls more strongly on one side of the planet than the other. We wouldn't stand a chance. By the way, if you're enjoying this journey into the darker side of space, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got plenty more what-if scenarios coming up that will take you to the far reaches of the universe. And who knows, maybe even beyond. So hit that subscribe button and let's keep exploring the unknown together. Now let's talk about the sun, our solar system's big glowing centerpiece. You'd think the sun, being this massive ball of gas and plasma, could hold its own against a black hole, right? Not exactly. If the black hole gets too close, it could start pulling gas away from the sun, creating enormous solar flares. These flares could bombard Earth with deadly radiation long before the black hole even gets near us. And if the black hole is strong enough, it could begin siphoning off the sun's mass entirely, draining it like a cosmic vampire. Without the sun's heat and light, life on Earth would be snuffed out in a matter of days, even if the black hole doesn't get to us directly. And then there's time. Black holes don't just mess with gravity, they mess with time itself. Near the event horizon, the boundary of a black hole, time starts to behave very differently. The closer you get to the black hole, the more time slows down. This is called time dilation. If you were somehow able to get close to a black hole without being torn apart, time would start to move slower for you compared to someone watching from a distance. To them, it might look like you're frozen in place, inching closer to the black hole, while for you, time would seem normal. But once you cross the event horizon, that's it. There's no going back, no escape. The black hole would swallow you, and everything you know, whole. So what would it be like to actually fall into a black hole? Well, aside from the whole spaghettification problem, once you cross the event horizon, all bets are off. Some scientists think you'd be crushed into a singularity, a point where the laws of physics break down. Others speculate you might get ejected into another part of the universe, or even a completely different universe. It's one of the greatest mysteries in modern science, and we don't have all the answers yet. But before you start panicking and packing up for Mars, here's the good news. Black holes wandering into our solar system are incredibly rare. We know of a few rogue black holes in the Milky Way, but none of them are anywhere near us. The chances of one entering our solar system are astronomically low, like winning the lottery while being struck by lightning, kind of low. So for now, we're safe. However, just because it's unlikely doesn't make the idea any less fascinating, right? The idea that something as small as a black hole could come in and wreak havoc on an entire solar system is both terrifying and awe-inspiring. It's a reminder of how fragile life on Earth really is, and how much we still have to learn about the universe. In the end, a black hole entering our solar system would be one of the most destructive events imaginable. Planets would be ripped apart, orbits would be thrown into chaos, and time itself would warp in ways we can barely understand. It's the kind of scenario that makes you appreciate just how lucky we are to be in a stable part of the universe, with no rogue black holes barreling toward us anytime soon. But who knows what the future holds? There's still so much out there in the cosmos, waiting to be discovered. And hey, if you're as curious as we are about the strange and mysterious phenomena of space, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're always diving into these cosmic what-if scenarios, and you won't want to miss what we've got lined up next.